The day was dancing and singing and moving through the grooving, and just when it hit me, somebody turned around and started playing the funky music.
Okay, so today I'm going to show you this piece of kit. It's a Talkbox. Some people call it a voice tube or whatever you like. And it's made by Rocktron. Technology for guitarists. Really, this thing works with anything that goes in the 1/4" input, including a keyboard, and I'll show you that in a minute. It's called the Banshee, the Irish maiden proclaiming imminent death. It's a little bit more subtle than that. It's got 3 controls. There's a gain control, which works mostly like a guitar amp, so full-on distortion on the right, off on the left. So I set it sort of halfway maybe. And then a tone control, just rolls the treble off. It's quite subtle, I'll demonstrate that in a minute. And then an output level. And what you do with the output level is that you get the voice, the tube, which is this piece of kit here, which just plugs into the top. And when the sound comes out of the tube, you need to equalise it with your vocal mic. So I'm going to plug it in now. So I'll just plug in the power supply, which is just on a little DC jack thing. I'm going to plug a guitar into the side, and I'm going to plug another jack in the other side for your guitar amp. So if you're playing guitar, you'd use this like a pedal. You'd put the guitar in the input, and the output goes to guitar amp. So let's pick up my trusty Telecaster. So at the moment you're hearing the guitar amp just straight through. But if I press the switch on the Rocktron Banshee, the sound goes from the guitar amp and instead goes up this tube. And there it is. So the sound is coming out of this plastic tube. The speaker inside the Talkbox is a tiny little compression driver, and it's quite powerful. I don't know how many watts it is, but it's loud enough. Some people have talked about the health risks with putting a tube that has sound into your mouth, but actually this is replacing your vocal cords. You're more likely to get problems with your fillings. If you've got loose fillings, probably avoid too much level with this. But anyway, I'm going to give this a demo now. So when you put it in your mouth, you can make sounds like wah-wah sounds. Or you can actually talk with it, which is slightly more tricky. You've got to hold the tube between your molars so it doesn't fall out and try and enunciate.
So you can play notes and talk at the same time.
It's a bit like some people think that this is a vocoder. Similar idea, but completely different ways of working. This is more of a physical, more of an actual brute force engineering method. So
the day was dancing and singing and moving through the grooving, and just when it hit me, somebody turned around and started playing the funky music right boy.
So I've had to make sure that the notes from the guitar link up with my vocals. If you just did it all sustained, it loses all its definition. Now when you enunciate with this, you have to kind of go over the top. So if I was to do that same line again without any sound, it would sound like this. And they were moving and moving and dancing to the grooving, and just when it hit me, somebody turned around and shouted play. So it's not just whispering, you've got to kind of really bring it forth to make it work. So there you go, there's your beginning riff of Living on a Prayer. So there is the guitar going through this. Now lots of people also play this with a keyboard. On YouTube, if you type in Talkbox with a keyboard, lots of the keyboard players there are using the Yamaha DX keyboards, and I've got 2 here. I've got the Yamaha DX27 and a DX11, and actually it works great with either of those keyboards, and that's what I'm going to show you next. Okay, so here we are with the Yamaha DX11, about 1987, 30-year-old keyboard, works perfectly with a new battery in it. and it sounds great through the Talkbox. Now, it works best with sounds that are quite long and trebly. Things like that are just ripe for working with your mouth. So, you can make all those sort of wah-wah-y type sounds. You've got the pitch bend and vibrato, so you can really make it sound quite voice-like. I was doing that Thought It Was You by Herbie Hancock.
I thought it was you. I thought it was you.
Obviously, you know, I need to get the learn the words for the tune. That would be a start. So, there is the keyboard through. Now, the keyboard has a higher output level than the guitar, so obviously you have to tweak the gain control of your Talkbox to make it work. Now, the tone control on the Talkbox is quite subtle. It works best with a sound that's got quite a lot of treble in the first place, obviously. So, no sort of tone rolled off, tone flat out. So there's a little bit more there. Ideally, have as much of the treble as you can, then you can wind it back by closing your mouth.
I thought it was you.
Now, obviously, during a gig, you don't want to bring this out every tune and people just go, oh god, it's that thing again. A couple of times during a gig, it sounds great. And people go, whoa, what's that thing? And actually, it's not very commonly used nowadays, and it's a shame because it's so capable of many different things. As I say, anything with a 1/4-inch jack will work with this, with the Talkbox. The keyboard, guitar, I've tried it on electric violin before. It didn't work so well, but the keyboards and guitar it works great for. And there we go. There's the Rocktron Banshee.